On Who That Nation, it is yours truly, TJ Jones, dude. Coming up here on the State of Saints podcast, we're going to be talking about Saints' second day of training camp, brother. Tyler Shough taking the snaps with the runs, dude. We're also going to be talking about how some Saints fans aren't patient with the football team, man. All I need you to sit back and enjoy the State of the Saints podcast, because what you're going to do when TJ Jones and the State of the Saints podcast run wild on you.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who that?
Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Really do appreciate your time. Much love to each and every one of you. Before I get started, I just want to say rest in peace to the immortal Hulk Hogan. Now, I know Hulk Hogan, towards the tail end of his life, was a controversial figure. I get all that. I understand that. Trust and believe. I do. But when it comes to the world of professional wrestling, Hulk Hogan is by far the most important person in the history of wrestling. In the golden era of the 1980s, Hulk Hogan was the man. And he is the reason why we are continuing to watch professional wrestling today, because professional wrestling was on his way out and he revolutionized the game. Now, I'm talking about it from that particular perspective. All right. So rest in peace to Hulk Hogan, the wrestler. All right. Everybody grew up watching Hulk Hogan, putting a hand behind the ear, flexing a muscle. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to remember Hulk Hogan for his in-ring performances and not what would happen outside of the ring, even though I understand how it can affect some people. Deal with it. That's all I got to say. And also, I would be remiss on this day, even though we didn't talk about it last episode. This is the first training camp in over 40 years that the legendary Ed Daniels will not be a part of. Last year, when the Saints were out in California, we know that Ed Daniels suffered a heart attack while he was covering the team out in California. And, a few months later, he passed away at the age of 67 years old. Ed Daniels is the epitome of class, did it the right way, has so much journalistic integrity. We remember growing up, watching Ed Daniels cover the New Orleans Saints, sports for WGNO, was a game show host for Know It All, a very, short-lived game show back in New Orleans. Ed Daniels was indeed the man. So we want to dedicate this episode tonight to the legendary Ed Daniels and remember the contributions that he has made to the city of New Orleans, not just in sports, but the city of New Orleans, as well as the New Orleans Saints team. Rest in peace, Mr. Ed Daniels. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk a little bit about Saints day 2 of training camp. There was a lot of storylines that even had a little bit of a brouhaha, so to speak. Yeah, they were fighting out there, man. But that comes with the territory, and I love the energy. I love the energy of this Saints training camp. It shows me that these boys are some dogs and they hungry and they're trying to make plays. And a lot of these young players understand the task before them. That task being that they have an opportunity to be a starter. Everybody has a clean slate. There's a handful of guys on this team that positions are solidified, but there are several positions that are up for grab. Depth chart positioning is up for grabs, and guys are trying to make plays. Shouts out to the rookie Quincy Riley, got himself an interception. So people asking a question, what you think about Quincy Riley? Well, Quincy Riley out there making plays. Alante Taylor stepping up, showing the dog mentality, something that I've been feeling like I need him to show and see. He's been doing his thing. The defense, them boys out there yip yapping and talking. The offense out there lip wrestling and talking. You know, Brandon Cooks out there pulling a Chris Childs on, you know, back in the day for the New York Knicks with the two-piece. Got a two-piece back. That is what it's all about, folks. I understand that you don't want to see these boys fighting, but the energy that is coming from camp, I love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what is going to get the Saints out of the dark ages. All of this shaking hands, kissing babies type stuff is not going to get you where you need to be. You need some rough riders. You need some dogs. That is what you need on your football team. And these young guys are rising to the occasion. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I also love watching Tyler Shough roll with the ones. Yes, there were some ups. Yes, there were some downs, but he made some really good decisions based on some of the information that I obtained. Shouts out to the Saints media and from what we were seeing in video. This is a great competition so far. Spencer Rattler made some plays on day one. People were talking about how he looked with the ones. Day two, he throws an interception. Now everybody's sitting up here criticizing Spencer Rattler, talking about a turnover as if the Super Bowl is on the line and it's fourth down, it's 4th and 1 at the 1 yard line, and that play determines if the Saints bring home a Lombardi. Pump your brakes, slow your freaking roll. We heard Kellen Moore on the first day of training camp that was open to the media, right? They didn't do anything on the first day. They just talked to the media, you know, did some pressers. Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore. And what did Kellen Moore say? He wants to see these guys go out there and try to make plays, possibly turn the ball over. But what do you do after that? You heard him say that. Why would Kellen Moore say something like that? Let me see. Maybe because he understands what some of these Saints fans need to understand, instead of them crying and whining inside of the tweets and the chat, talking about how these boys look after they throw an interception. Everybody sees it, including a head coach, that you have young, inexperienced quarterbacks that are going to have to go through the motions. I do not understand what some of these Saints fans want. I was ready to have this conversation. I was ready, and I'm ready for the smoke too. I don't understand what some of you all want. Some of you all have a sorry, pessimistic, pathetic attitude about everything. You're getting exactly what you wanted for the last 3 to 4 years, and now all of a sudden you're getting upset because now you have to go in the kitchen and make the things because now you have the ingredients. Guess what, folks? Nobody likes to cook the food. Well, maybe some people, but you enjoy eating the food more than preparing the meal. And right now, the Saints are preparing the meal. You got the ingredients. Oh, we need a young coach. We need to stop getting these recycled guys. Get yourself a young coach. They got a young 37-year-old coach in Kellen Moore. Man, the New Orleans Saints, they need to get younger. They need to get younger. All of a sudden, you get the retirement of Derek Carr, the retirement of the Honey Badger, right? Well, what are we going to do now? We ain't got the Honey Badger. But the Honey Badger was 32 years old last season, and you were talking about he ain't the same player. What in hell do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Do you want to see this team actually have a rebuild and possibly embrace the rebuild in order for the Saints to get themselves back into a better situation? Or do you want to whine and moan along the way? And some of you whining, moaning Saints fans are really getting on my freaking nerves. Seriously, what do you actually want, people? What do you want? You're getting everything that you want, including white helmets, including gold jerseys, including a quarterback battle of young quarterbacks. We need to move, turn the page, move forward. Drew Brees, Sean Payton era just need to be gone. It was a good moment in time, but now we need a new culture. You're getting a new culture. Sit back, relax, and let it marinate. For goodness sake, my goodness. I had to get that off my chest, man. But back to the competition. Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener. All three quarterbacks spoke to the media on Thursday. Don't have the clips. I referred to the New Orleans Saints YouTube channel, New Orleans.football. Great coverage, wall-to-wall stuff, Locked On Saints. Shouts out to my guy, Ross Jackson. Holla at them boys. They got some really good footage in regards to that. I'm paraphrasing on this episode, ladies and gentlemen. So I got the cliff notes. So I'm paraphrasing some of the things that they actually said. Spencer Rattler talked about the competition and how healthy it actually is. He bigged up the quarterback room. He talked about how some of these guys are embracing this battle. There's no malice. There's only a friendly competition going on. They feed off one another. They root for one another. And that's what it's all about. Everybody that wants to see this quarterback battle consists of blood and guts and looking gory like we're in the Coliseum and gladiators are taking the arena. They aren't like that, right? They understand that they are going to compete and let the best man win. I also have to give a big ups to Jake freaking Haener. Yes, Jake Haener. The Jake Haener that a lot of you, just sitting up here just getting upset that he's even talking or even has a chance. I have been on record, and I am still on record in saying that this is a two-man race. Like, seriously. But the fact that the Saints are implementing Jake Haener and giving him a fair shot is the only right thing to do. We cannot look at this team and talk about how the state of the Saints, no pun intended, has been over the last 2 to 3 years because of Dennis Allen, no head coaching tail, and Pete Carmichael, having that old, I guess like Wade throwback type offensive mentality. We blame them. We talk about them. We say that they need to move on from them and not look at the fact that maybe they haven't given these players an opportunity to really show what they can actually do, or better yet, even cared about what these players actually wanted to do. We heard Chris Olave talk about he wants to be able to push the ball down the field, right? He wants to be able to be that down the field threat. I seen Chris Olave in a backfield on a jet sweep in motion. I can't tell, I remember Rashid Shaheed being used like that. I remember like maybe some other wide receivers being used like that, but not Chris. Why? Because Chris expressed the things that have made him special at Ohio State and throughout his high school career, which got him to Ohio State. And he wants to be used like that. Did Kellen Moore say, I don't know, man, let's just go ahead and just run him in between the flats? Let's just go ahead and continue to do that. No, he is listening to what this guy is saying. He sees the talent that he possesses, and he's also trying to come up with plays to make Chris Olave feel comfortable and show him as being dynamic because he is. Back to what I was saying. When it comes to the quarterback competition, it's okay that they're opening up to Jake Haener. And I like Jake Haener's energy. I like the competitive nature that he has. When he was asked about the quarterback competition and people like pretty much looking at him as an afterthought, he said, if you don't think I'm a competitor, go take a look at that game when we played UCLA when I was at Fresno, and you'll see the competitiveness. You'll see the competitor that I am. You'll see the energy that I come with. I have no problem with that. What y'all want, some of you want this man to say, well, it's a two-man race. I know I'm the odd man out, right? I know I'm the Michelle Williams of this Destiny Child group, right? Everybody, looking at Beyonce and Kelly first before they get to me. No disrespect, but y'all know that was just a pecking order of the thing. All I'm saying is y'all want him to address himself like that, and the man don't want to do it. He has confidence in himself. I already told you. I'm going on record. I would be shocked if Jake Haener, after he finished up his football career, is not a coach somewhere. Like, this guy talked to the media, and he has it in him. He has it in him. He's a smart football player, and it's only right that the Saints allow him to be a part of this competition. I don't know if he's going to win. I don't think he will win. But the fact that he is confident enough to go in front of the media and knowing that this is going to go out to the Who Dat Nation and knowing that he is in this thing and feels he's in this thing, that's the type of energy that you need. Y'all want these guys to be passive for some apparent reason. You know who you are. You want these players to roll over and say, woe is me. These guys are confident. You don't get to the NFL if you're not confident. And, you know, it don't seem like they really care about what we think anyway. I mean, that was definitely the energy of day one. Alvin said he didn't care. Cam said he doesn't care. So, you know, at the end of the day, these guys only are looking at those players that are in the locker room with them. And if those players feel like they have what it takes to make the team better, that's all that matters. But Jake Haener is a part of the competition. So you got to deal with it. Want to acknowledge the donation. Alfred, thank you very much for the $4.99. Says, I was there today, TJ, and the wide receiver coaches was really riding Chris Olave, like really on his ass. You could tell the expectations are high for him. Yeah, and that's what he needs, man. You know, and that's what he needs. Like, Chris Olave has got to break out his shell. Like, look, this gonna sound crazy, but I gotta say it. Like, Chris Olave has got to get selfish. Like, he has got to be selfish. And not like in a way like, oh, you know what I'm saying, I want all the attention on me type selfish. I'm talking about selfish, like, I want the football. Everybody know I'm getting the football. Let me go out here and give you this work. That is what he needs. Now, he's a quiet guy. He's not a rah-rah guy. He's quick to say that. But you got to show that dog, man. If you're going to be that number one, you got to show that. And you have to have a level of selfishness about you. I have never seen a true number one that didn't have a level of selfishness about them at times. I'm serious. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, Colston, maybe like the only one I really honestly seen that was like a number one, and you don't really see it. Like, he want, even with Colston, there were times where Colston would get frustrated, especially like if he is running with the ball, get yards after catch of fumbles or something like that. He'll turn into an absolute dog. Like, you know, like, you have to be wired a certain type of way. There's something that has got to, like, get you dialed in. The selfish players are the ones that make the biggest impact, folks. That's just the truth. I ain't talking about selfish with things that are of value, but I'm talking about on the field. He has got to become selfish. You know, it's okay to be happy for your teammates, but also you have to have this level of energy that just says, man, look, I'm the baddest, you know what, alive. And somebody gonna have to deal with me. I'm waiting for that. Like, he has all the qualities. When people ask me, you know, why, you know, I'm kind of hesitant of looking at Chris Olave as like a true number one, it's because he lacks that. Now I'm starting to see it now. Like, when I was looking at his first press conference and doing OTAs, I seen it when they asked him the question about him being on the trade block, and there were rumors about that. That was the first time I really seen Chris Olave like really like stand on business and be like, man, look, I don't know what they talking about. Like, you know, like, I want to be here. Like, I don't care what they talking about when it comes to that. Like, I ain't trying to be traded. There's no need to trade me. That was the first time I really seen that it's in them. It's like, you can't suppress that, bro. You got to let it out. And the press conference that he had again, you know, the most recent one, you're starting to see it even more. He is going to have to evolve into that selfish player. When it like that is what's going to make Chris Olave a true number one receiver, in my opinion. You got to be selfish, man. I have never seen a great elite wide receiver that wasn't selfish in some ways. Like, I ain't seen it. Like, I even seen Fitzgerald get upset talking about he wants some targets. I've seen it. Like, you got to have that selfishness. You got to have it in order for you to hit that switch and be great. Is anybody in New Orleans arena needed tickets to go to the practice? Oh, I guess he mean area. Excuse, I said arena. New Orleans area needed tickets to go to the practice tomorrow. So Barnell, there it is right there. He said if anybody needs some tickets, he got you. I don't think they're real Saints fans to be. I don't know, man. I just think that people are just like, it's a fine line between skepticism and just being whiny. And some of these Saints fans are just, whining, boo-hooing. Like, hey, man, come on, man. I just don't understand it. Like, the team is trying to improve. They are rebuilding. They even admitted it. Like, Mickey Loomis, as stubborn as he has been through the process, like, even he has had to pretty much admit that they're going through a rebuild. He mentioned like the first couple of years of the Detroit Lions. So I don't know, man. We wanted Mickey Loomis to come to grips with what the team is and has been, and it seemed like it's going that way. Young coach, quarterback competition, young guys, inexperienced, young players, ain't trying to go out here get the 30, 35-year-old wide receivers, willing to work with the ones that they actually have. And we still in a corner crying. What more do you want? That's all I want to know. What more do you want? Like, some people just, I guess they just like to hear themselves cry. I don't know. The DV Wright had jammed the mess out of Chris on the goal line to where he fell down and couldn't complete his route, and coaches let him have it. Yeah, man, look, I think Wright was the one that got into it with Brandon Cooks. I don't think, like, people are saying it was Alontae Taylor, but looking at another video, I think Nick Underhill put it out. It was like a close-up of Brandon Cooks, giving the defensive back a two-piece, and you can, for a brief second, you can see the number, and I think that was Wright, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was him. So it probably was Alontae Taylor kind of jumped in to help out his homeboy. Let's see. Strussman could have popped Olave in the backfield. We being honest. Yeah, he probably could have, man, but you don't want to hurt nobody. The quarterbacks will push each other. We need more battles like that for other positions. All the positions, not just like other. Go ahead and say all positions. I want to see competition at all positions. Like, I want to see the guy that knows that he's a huge long shot at any position still go out there and handle business. That's what I want. I want competition on all levels. That is how you get better. What's up, TJ? How you doing today? Greg, I'm doing great, man. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Hell yeah, hold them all accountable. Accountability wasn't a thing with DA. Yeah, hold these boys accountable. Right? You gonna sit out there, play soft, man? We're gonna call you out on it. That's what you need, man. Like, man, none of this silk sheet stuff no more, right? Oh, man, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna make another play. Nah, bruh. You're a professional. You want that big time contract, right? You seen your homie Garrett Wilson get paid, right? Getting paid $34 million a year. You want that, right? Shoot, call him out. TJ, my bro, you starting to grow into your old school New Orleans dad look. Yeah, man, look, time waits for no man. I'm comfortable, man. I'm comfortable. Got my, I got my my grown man golf shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, look, time brains on the change, man. We can't be young forever. Can't be young forever, man. We slowly lurking into OG status. And in some cases, I am OG to some people. Olave needs to have that attitude. Definitely needs to have that attitude. We need him to eat out there. Exactly. We need all of them to eat out there, but definitely if you're going to be a number one receiver. If Olave can act like Diggs Odell mentality, then boy, going to wake up. Look, you don't even have to be that, Lee. Like, you don't have to, like, go out there and just be like, on some, I mean, I call it for what it is, like borderline diva, or in some cases, true diva type attitudes. Like, you ain't got to be that. But, man, you got to demand a level of excellence from yourself, and you got to demand football from time to time. Right, man? This dude can't guard me. Like, man, let him know. Michael Thomas' Twitter handle since he has come into the league when he first got there in 2016 was can't guard Mike. That's what it was. Letting everybody know that cornerbacks can't guard him. So that's the type of energy that you got to be on. I ain't saying you gotta change your Twitter handle to can't guard Chris, but you can give them the indication that it should be, you know, right? Because I know people are mad with Michael Thomas, but he was out there nasty with it. Yep. And, you know, and you need that. You need that. You know, so I don't, gotta have it. I love how the coaches are holding the players accountable and calling them out on mistakes, something the old coaching staff didn't do. Yeah, everything gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right. We're gonna keep on fighting the good fight. Keep on chopping wood out there. I mean, while you trying to be Paul Bunyan, the team in shambles, you know? So you got to find different ways to reach your team, man. Why is everybody acting like Arch is entering the draft already? We haven't seen what he's going to do. Slow your roll. Yeah, I mean, everybody just excited about it. You know, just the name on the back of the jersey as of right now, Arch Manning, right? He's a Manning, so he's going to be good. Peyton was good. You know, Eli was good. So Arch going to be good. That's just the way that it goes, right? I don't know, man. I don't know how good Arch Manning is going to be. I believe he's going to be good. And, you know, some people feel like it's a foregone conclusion, but Arch Manning can't help the Saints in 2025. And I don't expect for him to be able to help the Saints in 2026 because I don't think he's going to come out of college. Like, why would Arch Manning have to come out of college? What for? I mean, he's rich. You don't need the money. I mean, if you can work into Steve Sarkisian's defense, you know what I'm saying, offense for another year, why the heck not? Like, oh man, like what's like, dude don't need to come out of college. That's what people don't understand. Like, this dude don't need to come out. Like, you think about guys like Cam Ward and, you know, like, man, even Shadur Sanders stayed there to his senior year. This dude was rich. Dude didn't need no money. Some guys step out of college a little early because they want to help their family and possibly gain some of that generational wealth. But, man, like I said, Arch Manning, he don't have no reason to leave college. This man can stay at college and enjoy it, going to his senior year before he becomes that top prospect that everybody expects for him to be. So I don't understand it. Like, I don't know why y'all waiting on him. I don't think he's going to come out. TJ loved the SOTS hat. I appreciate it, Jerry. Saints got a white helmet, so I brought out a white hat. The daughter Cook's fighting today. I mean, I thought that was good energy, you know. Like, it shows me that these guys want it. They want to be better. So that's I mean, sometimes you need to get that little fisticuffs going. Who we talking about? I just joined, man. We talking about Saints training camp day 2. Talking about Saints training camp day 2. Mostly talk about Chris Olave, the majority of the episode. A little bit of Jake Haener, right? Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough, you know, switching. So I believe tomorrow Jake Haener is going to run with the number ones. Some people are saying, why give this man opportunity? Like, it's a competition. It's a competition. You can believe what you want to believe. Like, oh, man, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of, you know, energy. But they don't think so. And they're going to give him opportunity. What's up, TJ? Keep that same old negative thing from a couple years from DA. P. Carmichael, just get over it. We got a new head coach, Kellen Moore. Our team players are going to eat until kickoff in September for real, for real. Yeah, man, get over it. Like, people still thinking about Dennis Allen and P. Carmichael and stuff like that, man. It's like we keeping up the same old spiel. Like, don't fall into, like, you know, New Orleans is keen on tradition, and sometimes, man, we create these negative things that become traditions. And I'm very concerned about negative energy at the start of the season starting to be New Orleans Saints fans' tradition. And I get it. Like, it has not been a crystal stair. It hasn't been a lily in a valley, so to speak, like my grandmother would say. It hasn't been that. But at the same time, like, you ask for a culture change. The Saints have given you a culture change. We don't know what it's going to look like. So coming in with the same energy and looking at guys and sizing them up and trying to find reasons to be upset, I don't think that's the wave. Now, I want to make this very, very clear, because I know some people who can't really comprehend things, and it's rather you're over here or you're over there. Is never in between. I want you to understand this. I have a wait and see approach. I'm going to say this again. I apologize for the people that constantly hear me make this speech. I have a wait and see approach. I am going to wait and see. Then I will evaluate. But I'm also looking at the fact that this is a rebuild. The team is like, if the Saints come out looking like the greatest show on turf, looking like they did in 2011, 2012 season when they just set all type of offensive records, like, that would shock the heck out of me. But you know what wouldn't shock me? If the Saints kind of struggle a little bit at the quarterback position, struggle at some other positions that they're trying to figure out. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Why? Because we know that this is a little bit of a rebuild. We know that they have young, inexperienced players, which you wanted, by the way. So why sit up here and give yourself an aneurysm, getting your blood pressure medication about stuff that you already know? Like, like what you're doing right now, you're like those people that's saying, like, oh, man, I ain't going to worry about nothing. I ain't going to worry about nothing. Now I'm always worried about something. Like, come on, man. You know where you are. You know where you at. You know what the situation is. You know what the business is. So I'm just saying, like, do you really know what the business is? Or are you just not prepared for the business? Sound like some of you know what the business is, just not prepared emotionally for the business to take place. I'm a Longhorns fan, but I need to see how Arch is going to do. But he's not entering the draft too soon. It's going to be a while. I don't think I'd be shocked he come out next year. I would. He said we're going to eat until kickoff. TJ, ain't no way you just blew past that. I mean, that's his opinion on it. Maybe they will. Like I said, man, the energy needs to change. I can tell you that. I mean, I don't want any guys to get hurt, wanting to fight, but at least I know that, they passionate about what's going on. Penny was seen being put face first in the grass by Brazil on an inside zone run. How concerned should fans be at this moment, given the time is meant to emphasize conditioning and technique? I don't think that is going to be a concern to me, because it happened the same way, Aaron, when it came to Trevor Penning at the right tackle position. Was he the best right tackle we ever seen? Absolutely not, but he wasn't as bad as people thought he would be. Like, we thought, like, it was going to be so bad, like, you're probably going to have to outsource for it. But he did his thing. So this is a new position for him, just like the right tackle position was. And he's probably going to go through some growing pains. But also, you got to look at it both ways here, Aaron. Brian Brzee had 7.5 sacks last season. The man is slimmed down, and it seems like the Saints are going to use him as a DN or edge rusher from time to time. So maybe you seeing the advent of, Brian Brzee. Maybe we looking at a New Orleans Saints, finding something in Brian Brzee at the pass rush. Now, we got to look at it both ways. Like, it's not like, he getting blown off the line by Isaiah Foskey or something. No disrespect. I'm just saying it from according to the pecking order, and guys have been productive with the team. Now, I want to see if Isaiah Foskey can thrive in this Brandon Staley defense, of course, but I'm only using him because he has yet to really show himself or reveal what he can actually do for the team. But Brian Brzee has shown us flashes since he has come out of Clemson. And now they're going to utilize him as a defensive end or an edge. Like, come on, man. Like, I think that we got to take a look also at Brian Brzee, him developing too as a pass rush. So I told Mike Triplett we're going to win 10 games. And did he laugh like how those emojis, like those emojis are on your screen? Or he just like, okay. Yeah, Brazil was a dog on the edge at Clemson, TJ. Yeah, they used to line him up on the outside and the inside. You know, they line him up on the outside and the inside. So, yeah. Justin says, let me get a rinse, TJ. All right, let me. I got to go to the wrench game on this. All right. Justin says that he wants a wrench. All in favor of Justin getting a wrench? Put your wrench, if you have a wrench, in the comments. Let's see who we got. I see 1, 2. Let's see, 2, 3. 4. We got about 6, 7 wrenches up in here, so I need at least 4 co-signing wrenches up in here. It ain't up to me, okay? We do this as a family. I see 1 wrench by Jerry. Yeah, I don't know. Cartel just got it. He just looking, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Okay, we got 2 wrenches by Lee. Need 2 more. Need 2 more wrenches. We need 2 more wrenches. We gonna see. I mean, he been here, man. He been here. He been putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? He been rocking with the SOTS for a minute. All right, we got, Jordan, I feel that energy. B Creole, I feel that energy. All right, we need 2 more. We need 2 more. Let's see. Kid Arthur gave you 1. Now we did 1 more. Everybody putting the wrenches in there. Lee said give him the wrench. We need 1 more. We need 1 more. Keen Arthur. I don't think Cartel put no wrench out. Jerry said, you've been awarded. Rock, paper. We gonna give you a wrench, man. We just joking. Justin been here for a long time, man. He been here for a long time, man. We're gonna get that man a ring. We gonna give you a wrench, man. I'm gonna make sure I give you one. Okay, let me see. I can't do it while I'm doing it live here. So I actually gotta go into the show. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right. All right. Now everybody can't get their wrench like that. You gotta put in that work. You gotta put in that work, man. I gotta see you in this thing. I gotta see you being active. I gotta see you. I gotta see. Y'all know I don't really, I don't care about that donation stuff. Like, I appreciate the donation, I really do. But man, it's more than that. I just need to see you interacting in this thing, right? And then also you got to get some, and you got to be in agreement with the other wrench game. Now they gotta see you. Because sometimes some people are like, man, I'll be up in there, TJ. I'll be in this thing. I'll be in here. I mean, but the wrench game, they know. All right. Wrench game gotta nominate that sometimes. Because some people are like, man, I've been in this thing. So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Start giving our wrenches. I'm gonna start paying real close attention. Start paying real close attention to the people in there. It's like right now, I see somebody. There we go. It's like I see somebody right now. Should have had a wrench. Right now. Cartel said, hold up, man. Who jumped the boy in? Hey, man, we got 4. We got 4 in there. We was able to get 4 in there. We got 4 in there, man. So congratulations. Congratulations to him. All right, let's see if we got some more Saints questions up here before we get up out of here, man. I know we be having fun. Show get off the rails from time to time. It's just the second day, man. Only a handful of things like really, honestly, truly happened to fight. The quarterback competition, I don't feel like gonna really rev up, and other positions aren't gonna rev up until they put them pads on. Yeah, it said TJ said I got my eye on you. Yeah, man. Look, check this out, Shazam. Look, for real. I wanna make sure that people up in this thing like really here, really active. And like, that's what my moderator is for, to kind of, control the chat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Making sure we ain't got that spam in there. Make sure people ain't just going too crazy with the profanity. But also, make sure that people, that been here, that been rocking with the SOTS, get they wrench. But I'm not, like I said, this ain't gonna be no every episode thing, because I want people, like, if you rock with the SOTS, we gonna find you. We ain't hard to find. I'm gonna give you just due. Give you just due. All right, let's see. Yo, TJ, what's your thoughts on the defensive secondary? Going to be a real healthy in this season, no injuries and no penalty calls. I'm just happy yet again. Did y'all hear any injuries? Did y'all hear about any injuries? I ain't hearing about no injuries today. For the second camp in a row, no injuries. Like, did anybody hear about an injury? I ain't talking about nobody cramping up, had to leave practice because they had cramps, didn't drink enough water, didn't get no pickle juice. I'm talking about guys like being carted off the field. Unfortunately, like Justin Fields, but it turns out he's going to be okay. It seemed like he going to be okay, all right? But at the end of the day, like, I ain't been hearing about no injuries, so that's a plus, all right? We need one of them signs, and I'm probably going to make one. How many days without an incident? How many days can the Saints go without an injury? Let's see what's going to happen with that. Let's see what's going to happen with that. All right. And I'm trying to make sure, trying to stroll up a little bit. Like I said, this show goes off the rails, quite a bit. Ed Daniels, sportscaster. Yeah. Ed Daniels, legendary. Over 40 years of covering the New Orleans Saints. This is his first training camp. Well, the first training camp without the legendary Ed Daniels. Of course, he passed away. He passed away last in 2024. Yeah, man, that was just so unfortunate, man. That just came out of nowhere. Ed Daniels was the man, though. He covered the New Orleans Saints, the first training camp without him in 40 years. 40 years, man. Like, I count last training camp season because he was actually a part of it in California. That's when, he had some health issues and, had to leave California. But yeah, and he is missed. And credit to the New Orleans Saints. Like, once he passed away, the spot that he sat inside of the press box, they put his picture up there and honored him. So very classy gesture by the New Orleans Saints, when Ed Daniels passed. But like, man, Ed Daniels is a legend, man. We're gonna keep that alive. We're gonna keep that alive. This ain't the first time we're gonna, have that backdrop right there, man. Ed Daniels. Hey, where my Louisiana sports people at? High school football. Like, y'all know Ed Daniels, man. Ed Daniels was the king of Friday night. Had the sports show on Friday. Had the sports show on Friday, highlighting some of the best and the brightest guys that went on to get into the National Football League. They'll tell you about Ed Daniels. I'm pretty sure the Honey Badger will tell you about him. Leonard Fournette, other New Orleans natives, Louisiana natives, that played high school football. Ed Daniels put them on the map, man. Sorry to change the subject, but who is your favorite male and female WWE wrestler right now? Mine is Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan. Scarecrow, thank you very much for the $5. Who is my favorite wrestler as of right now, male and female? My favorite male wrestler right now, like without a shadow of a doubt, is Gunther. Gunther is my favorite wrestler right now. The guy is the best wrestler on the freaking planet. Man can have a 5-star match with a broomstick. And my favorite female wrestler, this may not be a shock to anybody, but Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is a superstar. All right. I mean, she is a superstar, but I also like what Naomi is doing right now. Like her new character, I really love. But yeah, Gunther, Bianca Belair. Like those are my favorite wrestlers right now, male and female. Pass will come on Monday, and we will see what we really have at the quarterback position. No, we ain't. No, we not. We ain't gonna see that. You see that, you gonna see somebody. Look, such and such has been released today. You better not touch no quarterback. They got the red jerseys on. Look, we're gonna call it a sack. You maybe see what some of these offensive linemen, defensive linemen have, but you ain't gonna see what their quarterbacks got. Shoot, who want to get cut? Who want to get cut? You better not touch the quarterback. Met him at the Ali versus Spinks fight. May he rest in peace. God, dog, this man said Ali versus Spinks. That man went back. I'm like, huh? we talk about Hulk Hogan. That man seen Prime Hulk. My man seen Prime Hulk. God damn. My man seen Hulk Hogan and Roman Reigns prime. God dang. That man said Ali Spinks. God, Lee, boy. Reggie, you just told your age for us right there. My man said he said Prime Hulk. Was he with Mr. T when you see him? Was it with Cyndi Lauper? God, Lee, man. Oh, my goodness. Ain't nothing wrong with that, though, Reg, man. Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. I already mentioned, I said my spiel at the beginning of the show. I understand Hulk Hogan and how his name could incite certain emotions, especially from people of my complexion, but I'm just looking at it from a wrestling perspective. Dude is one of the most important wrestlers in the history of professional wrestling. And everybody knows that I am a wrestling fan. And some people will say, bro, how can you depict between the two? Because I look at it from a wrestling perspective. Like, I also feel like, and this is towards the end of the show, y'all already know. So, you know, if you ain't down with it, then it is what it is. We ain't got a heaven or hell to put anybody in. We can sit up here and tweet till the cows come home about, oh, this person shouldn't be celebrated. Oh, this person shouldn't be admired. Oh, this person was a low down, dirty this or dirty that. Understand this, man. Everybody is special to somebody. You may not look at a person of having any significance, but to somebody else, they may be everything. Hulk Hogan in the world of professional wrestling, like, made people fall in love with the actual sport. Me growing up in the early 90s and my uncles, who are not that much older than I am, who were like 80s babies, they grew up kind of in the 80s. You know, that was their thing. Like, I fell in love with wrestling because of my uncles and them going to like Blockbuster Video, getting those VHS, Coliseum home video, those WWF at the time, videos we used to watch. Guess what, man? Like, that's what made me fall in love with wrestling. Hulk Hogan, wrestling Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper. You know, like, that's what made me fall in love with wrestling. And that's the reason why I still carry on that tradition. And one of the most wonderful and most beautiful things that ever like taken place in my life was this past Monday when I asked, my son realized it was Monday, my son Paxton, and he tells me, he says, Dad, you want to watch wrestling? And he asked me, he's like, Daddy, can we make some popcorn? Make popcorn. He was like, Dad, can you turn off the light? We turn the lights in the living room. We watching wrestling together, eating popcorn. That love that I had for wrestling started with that man. I'm talking about the wrestler, not like outside of that. And that tradition is carried on to my son, me sitting there watching WWE with him. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is what I think about when I think of Hulk Hogan, right? I mean, like I said, I don't have a heaven or hell to put anybody in. And I ain't sitting up here talking about what needs to be done to somebody. God, that is up to God, right? And if we're going to be talking about, oh, this person doesn't deserve this, I believe that we, should believe in some higher fate, right? Or some higher power for us to come to this conclusion. Oh, he going to hell and all that. So if you believe in that, you must believe in some form of religion. So let me leave you with this before we get back into the chat. since we like into the Bible, we know about a person sinning and a woman that was supposed to get stoned, right? And people were talking about what the law says. And what Jesus say? What did he say? He said, he without sin cast the first stone. The reason I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, because the same people that's talking about what should or should not happen to Hulk Hogan when it comes to him being celebrated, I believe you come to that conclusion because you believe in a higher power. So don't be a hypocrite. You can't believe one side of the Bible and one particular story and not believe the other. You got to believe everything. And like I said, I look at him as a wrestler. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Like I said, I probably lost a few people, but I do not care. I don't care. I don't care because that's not how, that's not how we roll here. We tackle situations. We talk about situations. So if I don't like, I understand how this social media thing goes. If you say something somebody don't like, then all of a sudden, I don't want to rock with you no more. Okay. I'll be all right. We still gonna go to sleep tonight. We're gonna pray we wake up tomorrow. Undertaker deadlock and made people bleed out their nose was crazy. Stone Cold Taker, HBK, Ric Flair, early 2000 Cena, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boy, Brock Lesnar, ECW. Yeah, I mean, look, man, I've had like so many great wrestling moments, man. They had so many great wrestling moments. Like I went to a couple WrestleManias, right? I mean, 2 of them I went to actually was in New Orleans. And one I went to was when it was in Dallas, when Shane McMahon jumped off the cage, which was absolutely crazy in person. What's your game console or playing the WWE 2K, TJ? I got mine on PS5. Oh, man, I got an Xbox Series S, man. That's what I got. Xbox Series S. I don't want to end on such a somber note, but you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know, man. We already talked about that. And if you're new here, we talk about everything. We talk we talk about life stuff. We talk about stuff that's going on in the world at large. That's the type of show that we develop. We talk about Saints, but sometimes it trickles off into real life, especially when we had so many different things that have happened. I mean, it's been a tough week for the 80s babies. It's been a tough week. Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away. If you're into rock music, Ozzy Osbourne passes away. Now, Hulk Hogan passed away. And, you also, have the trumpet player, made the famous song Feel So Good. He passed away. It's been a tough week for the 80s babies. It's been a tough week, man. But, so we've talked about these things. We talked about them. So, and honestly, like, since we talking about Ozzy Osbourne, so pretty, no, that's not it. That ain't it either. Is it? No, that's not it. Here it is. There we go. All right. So we all remember this game. I'm sorry, it's I got the green screen up, so you probably won't be able to see it. But right here is Madden 11 that features legendary quarterback Drew Brees. And the first song that you'll probably hear, like when you power it up on the Xbox 360, is Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train, right? So, that song is pretty much synonymous with the video game. So yeah, Crazy Train is actually on there. So yeah, so rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. That Madden 11 with Breeze on the front. Now all we need now is for Drew Brees to sign this. Mr. Brees, if you're watching this right now, can we I need you to sign that for me, sir. All right. But anyway, man, look, my final thought pertaining to the New Orleans Saints is look, camp is just getting started. Nobody's won or lost a battle yet after 2 days. I just want to see that momentum. I'm loving the energy. I love the energy that the New Orleans Saints are coming with this training camp, and it's only been 2 days. So I am definitely looking forward to what is going to happen. What is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I want to see these preseason games. And ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Give yourself a round of applause, because if you're watching this right now on a Thursday night, This is the final Thursday that you will be without football until February. I'm going to say that again. The final Thursday without football started off your week until February. Ladies and gentlemen, you made it. You have made it. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure some Thursday night games won't be played, of course, like towards the end of the season, but y'all get what I'm saying. Football is back. Football is back, and I'm excited about it, and I'm happy to bring it to you. And speaking of football, want everybody to go and check out the State of the NFL podcast. Yes, I am giving my own podcast a cheap plug. Yes, I am, and I'm going to continue to give these cheap plugs until you subscribe to the channel. On the most recent episode, we talked about Justin Fields' injury. Justin Fields had to leave practice, got carted off the field, avoided a very scary injury. So we talked a little bit about that. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm going to the page. I'm going to put the link of the most recent episode up in that thing. We also have Kristen Wilkins, who got released, got cut by the Raiders. That was a shock. So we talked about that also. All right. We talked about that. So want to go ahead and put that link inside the comments. Make sure you check out that episode. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe. Help that channel to grow. Previous episodes of this is available on YouTube. You can also follow me on X at TJAYJones8. I really do appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Shouts out to everybody that donated to the show. Shouts out to everybody that commented, making the show what it is. And until next time, all I got to say is, who dat?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat?